Hi, my beauties. So I decided that, hang on. Okay. This is just for me to be able to tell which video is which, because I'm kind of doing a dual thing where I do my eyes in one and I'm going to do my face. And I'm going to show you what all it takes to even remotely to get all this covered. What I'm using is the Bella Pierre okay, and typically, and I'm already primed. Shh. Hey. Hold please. Wait. Nope. Hold please. I'm back. Okay. So I always start off, for me, with a little bit of purple to kind of brighten up, and I've already primed my face. And I just swirl that around and I bring it into where I have the hyperpigmentation. Now, all I do is kind of press in a little bit. That softens that out of my fine lines. It softens the edges. And then other side. And again, just kind of not only is there a lot of activity right now on my street, they're doing something with pipes and water. And it's got them all disturbed. Now for this, I use my fingers because it kind of helps melt that in. Okay, so now that we're nice and purple, I also kind of do just a little bit around my nose, brighten that up, right in here, a little on the chin, kind of like using a highlighter. Okay. And then on a paper towel, I kind of wipe out my brush and then we come in with the orange.
That was something you hadn't seen Danny do on the golf course in quite some time, was to have a laugh. Pretty dark place for a while.
Piercy out of the bunker at the first.
It's about the same spot that Jason Day was.
And this kind of covers and neutralizes the dark spots. And then I just kind of press in.
And as we wait, let's go to the 11th PGA champion, Jimmy Walker.
Play quiet.
We're back.
Telling them to play quiet only works for a short amount of time. And then again, all I'm doing is just kind of pressing it in so it melts into the skin. And smoothing out those edges. And right in here, tend to get a little dark too.
Looking anxiously right. Nope. Other way. Good thing about these bunkers, fairway bunkers, they're reasonably.
Hey! Nothing out there can harm you. I promise. Although they seem to think there's plenty out there. And I'm just wiping this off again. Hey, settle it right now or go lay down. What did I say? Settle. I come in with just a tad bit of green because I have a little redness right around my nose. And I do the same for it. Just smooth out the edges. Then I gotta find my other brush. Did I not do this yesterday? No, wasn't that. Okay. Hold. No. I guess I used the one that I normally use for something else.
Question for you, Trevor.
So,
Go off in the afternoon on a day when you've seen low numbers put up there. How do you let the
let's find.
you not go after it, or are you in attack mode?
I don't want anything real small.
You can go out and play aggressively, but you do need to pick your spots.
Mm-hmm.
Want to give up too deep.
Hate when I do that, when I use a brush that, no, that's too fluffy. Because you really need
And we're third here.
something kind of dense.
4 under.
Fluffy.
The red birdies, 2 of the first 3. After the 11th, I break the turn.
Just double checking. No. Shh. Be good babies.
To 2.
And I use the L'Oreal Infallible.
Another one slides by there for Jason. Uncharacteristically, taking 2 putts yesterday.
And then I just
Found his touch.
come in a little bit.
Just yet.
One of the 34 major champions who were here at Bell Reed. And here's
Marley, no, I'm doing something, honey. I know, you want loves. I can't give you loves right now. Marley, you're being obnoxious.
at the third, here's Hendrick Smith.
Just like hearing too much speed from the chosen line. Closest ball in there rocks it over 3.
At 13. Another for Shane Lowry. Woodland. Kevin Kisner works Kepka, Johnson, and Peters. Billy Kratzer is following this so-called super.
Good afternoon, Bernard and Donald. Clean line for Justin Thomas in the bunker. 156 to the hole, but from this angle.
And I'm just lightly blending all this in.
Space out to the right, if you can shape it a little bit from right to left, you can get into that corner. Contact sure sounded good, Billy.
Because if I'm not careful with all of this, it'll look cakey.
The super explosive group really needs to get it going today. Just 9 birdies between them yesterday.
Certainly agree with that statement. 52 for Tiger. Should be just a nice, comfortable 9, right?
Have you ever gotten a song stuck in your head?
Up and out quickly.
My daughter and I watched Mamma Mia not too long ago.
This is so much that it actually started pushing in the opposite direction.
And Super Trooper stuck in my head. It's just there. Okay. I'm going to try the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. It's in the shade 245, I think.
McElroy, Thomas, Woods. On the first hole,
Squirting a little bit out. And I know when I kind of tested this a little bit, it sets quick.
The clock is ticking on irreversible.
So you have to kind of,
Ongoing pain and stiffness are signs of joint erosion. Humira can help stop the clock. Prescribed for 15 years, Humira targets and blocks the source of inflammation.
move quickly.
Leads to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened.
Although
Blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic
it is
or worsening heart failure.
blending very easily.
Tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Help stop the clock on further irreversible joint damage. Talk to your rheumatologist. Right here, right now. Humira.
So you'll be here to help if I need you?
Kyle, I got you.
Okay. What about here?
Yeah,
Here?
yeah. It sure is. What about here? Here too, Kyle.
And here's some other from State Farm.
If you invite me.
He said yes. That's all.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. Stay fun.
And when you're using a sponge, beauty blender, whatever you want to call it, you just want to lightly bounce it.
Bernie Johnson, Trevor Immelman, back with you, and we have got the official word that
Now, around the edges of like my nose,
suspended
kind of just
Saturday morning,
press it in.
Eastern time on TNT.
And
Woodland leading by 1 over Kevin Kisner. After Kisner with his
I always drag down into my neck so that
63 today, so he is
it kind of blends in.
plenty of players still on the golf course. So Trevor, I guess cautious optimism has been replaced by grim reality here with the conditions, and so nothing else.
And in a moment,
Shots will be struck on this Friday. So
I'm going to find out if this can be buildable.
you are taking this if you have yet to finish your round.
Well, I think the players will be happy that the PGA of America came to a conclusion quickly.
And I always go in
That'll be all the-
toward my hairline.
Now they can go home and start
Don't forget the ears,
for tomorrow. They know they're gonna have a long day out there. A couple of the guys who are
because
injuries,
I hate
treatment, and start to get ready knowing
having a mask.
some of them more than 18 holes tomorrow.
About 3.5 hours of play to complete, and then the third round will begin. Split tees, threesomes between 11:15 and 1.
See, I just can't find anything that
That is the
totally
the 100th PGA Championship, where Thursday was
covers all that.
but Friday getting a little waterlogged here late in the day and unable to complete play in round 2. That will happen on Saturday morning on TNT, and then we will take you right into the third round of play as well. So, play suspended for the day in round 2 of the PGA Championship. And you look through the leaderboard, Jordan Spieth shooting 66, stands at 3 under par. Tiger Woods, it's going to be 7 a.m. local time, so 8 a.m. Eastern. Let's just make sure that everybody understands that. It's 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock local time.
Wonder if it just...
Resumption of play on Saturday here at Belle Reve. Gary Woodland, who was the leader after round 1, will be the overnight leader again. And round 2 of the PGA Championship to be completed on Saturday morning. Again, it's 8 a.m. Eastern time on TNT. We will see you then as we complete round 2 and get into round 3, the season's final major. So for our
I don't really notice a difference.
for Trevor Immelman and Bill Kratzer and company. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Another long day of golf here at Belle Reve in St. Louis.
That's the TV. That is the TV, guys. It is trying to settle into my fine lines, though.
We are out there. The Russians.
It's probably about as good as it's going to get. I hate having makeup all over my fingers. Now, I come back into the same L'Oreal. I find, okay. Wipe off my brush a little bit quietly. And then I come in with the lightest color. And I just kind of to kind of and smooth. Another thing I like to do, this kind of just makes my lipstick stand out more, is I trace around my mouth with a very light color. And then I drag it down a little bit. Okay, and then I come above my brow a little bit. And that does a couple of things. It makes sure that I don't have any lines going above, because sometimes it's hard to get the foundation to come real close. I know that most people like to highlight tip of their nose, but honestly, right in here really does the trick for me. And then I just do a little bit around my chin. And right up in there. Then I have my Laura Mercier. Which I just want to do a little bit under my eye. This is fine. Okay. One thing I always do is make sure it's not settled into the lines yet. And then I just come in, lightly dust. Feels much better. Okay. Now there's a strong possibility, because for whatever reason, my phone likes to cut out with recording right about a half hour. So we're near that mark. Anyway, I'm using the Hoola for bronzer. Now I always start in the back and come forward, because if you boo-boo, and I know it seems real dark, but there's a method to my madness, because I come in with powder. Just checking to see if it's even. And then a little bit up in here and come around to the temple, because you just want to add in a little bit of color. And then for me, because I don't like how big my nose is, I always come and shade in right in there. So that way it gives a more slimming appearance. I don't exactly contour. All right, you guys are getting too rowdy. And what I use, I have the Ofra in the melon. It's a little bright. So then I come in with Beauty Beyond, I think. There's no color to it, but that's a little dull for me. So I just take, because the melon is highly, highly pigmented. So I just take a dip into it, tap, and then I swirl into the other one. And I'm gonna kind of give it a few seconds here in the case that this does cut out, so that we don't miss anything. Okay. If it did cut out, I'll be able to blend it together. Anyway, now for the blush. And again, I start in the back and I bring it forward. And again, I don't worry so much about it being real dark because I'm going to come in with the powder. And you're going to see that softens it up immensely. And I don't know why. I keep my packages. It's just something I do. I've always done. Try to keep things nice. Now, I do a little bit of hey, guys, getting too rowdy. Well, now I can't find it. Why is this always happening? I'll use this. I have the Becca, and this is in, I keep forgetting, Opal. I should remember that because that's my birthstone. And I do a little bit. Across the Cupid's bow. And I do a little bit just under, tad on my chin. There we go. And I don't like the highlighter to be so glowing. Some do. That's why can't tell. I come in and do it before I set. So that way, then I always tap back in like this and upward because it sets the powder more down into the bristles. And see how that did.
Costs continue to rise. If you're between the ages of 40 and 85 and you're concerned about burial or cremation costs, the cost of the funeral service, or any other final bills you may leave behind, then you need to act now. Updates have been released regarding funeral costs in your area, plus information
I have to go by feel.
and available assistance for seniors. Call now and request the 9 things every senior needs to know about funerals.
And I come across the top part of my eyes with the powder, and that just adds to the blending and giving it a little more softness, because I'm looking and it's looking kind of harsh, but I did forget to add a little color down here. Try to hide. And so you can still see the highlight some. It's just not as intense. And I think for someone my age, that's really the best thing to do. I'm going to pause for just 1 second because I need to get some water and I didn't bring it over here. Be right back, but you won't know. Okay, I went ahead and did my brows off camera because I'm not good at sculpting anyway. All I do is I use the Anastasia brow gel,
But beyond that, we have no
and then I use
a 9:45 a.m. start time.
Beauty Control
2:30 p.m. And we're not going to find out immediately. It's going to be
and
tough to find out because
might be a small spoolie.
conferences during this delay
One of these days, I'm going to learn how to sculpt. That is not today.
Here now, John Summers, Democratic strategist and former communications director
But
for Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, Guy Benson, co-host of Benson and Harp and a Fox News contributor, and Byron York, chief political correspondent for the Washington Examiner, also a Fox News contributor. Gentlemen, welcome to all of you. Byron, let me start with you. You've been watching this case very closely. What did you make of this huge delay today? And what about the Mueller team's complaints that Alice is coming after them unfairly?
I don't know what the delay is about.
I think my dogs are messing with the remote because TV keeps changing.
Rick Gates really got beaten up a little bit, and we learned, the Mueller team knew ahead of time, but we didn't. We learned that he had been stealing from Paul Manafort, either hundreds of thousands of dollars by his estimate or $3 billion by Manafort's estimate. We learned that he was using some of the money that he was stealing to finance an affair in London. All of this really didn't help his credibility, and to the degree that the jurors begin to think of this as kind of one grifter versus another grifter.
Now I always do
They are more sympathetic to Manafort in the sense that why
my bottom lashes first.
we could send him to jail for 200 years and the other guy got off.
Yeah, sort of not
Hush.
whether or not there's any connection to this, because what we're hearing is this is a separate thing. It happened years and years ago. They're looking into his financial situation. Motivated him to fraud. They would have access to the president. People,
Guys,
chaos involved in all of that. When you look at this, the process is moving forward. Is there anything that we've learned this week
it's enough.
that there is anything more to it than financial dealings from a long
Well,
time
I
ago?
think we'll just have to see, right? This is all.
Sorry, I'm buried in my mirror,
Right, so we're all familiar with the collusion piece of this scope.
and
Remember the other
it hides the funny faces I make. Because I don't know anybody that can put on mascara and not have a funny face.
Gates, I mean, look, there's no honor among thieves, right? You don't know who to believe. You don't know if you can believe President Trump. You don't know if you can believe Rick Gates, Paul Manafort, Stone. You don't know that you can believe any of them. Omarosa today coming out with her new book. So, this is one of those things where we have to trust the jury system and see what comes out of it.
Fortunately, Omarosa is not involved in this particular trial, but that is a subject for another day.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or maybe an almost life is stranger than fiction, right? Guy, what do you think of it?
This is why the media loves this story, because there might be a Trump angle that could be damaging to him, but these are still people within his orbit, so they're happy to cover it. And the trial sort of has everything. Some of the selections.
But I do the bottom lashes first
A mysterious
because
what's that about?
if you do your top ones first,
What, at one point,
when you go to do your bottom,
ask him, are you crying?
they're up against the skin and you end up with all these little black dots.
They just look watery.
Or brown, whatever color you're using.
And then the judge sort of got slapped a little bit. He had to apologize.
Doing the bottom ones first
It makes for great TV, but the question is, in terms of
allows
is this going to tie back in any meaningful way to the president? And if not, it's just a
for you to be able to have
That's the Perry Mason moment that the president has said is not coming. We'll see what happens with that. In terms of
better
the
control
campaign, we've watched
over
him in the races that we saw this
boo-boos.
week, and we're learning a little bit more about how they're targeting exactly where he goes, Byron. Your thoughts on what Brad Parscale, who's the head of the 2020 campaign, says we're looking at RNC numbers, so when we go into these states, we're doing it in a very targeted, specific way.
The Trump campaign was much more sophisticated in its use of data than most people thought in 2016. They're going to be at least that good now. And the fact that when he went to Ohio, the president went to Delaware County and not to some other county in the Ohio 12th district was not an accident at all. And we know the president's approval
Okay.
ratings. We know they're generally around.
Now, before these dry,
He wants to target those people who are well disposed toward him.
I lost a couple of, I need a new one,
This thing they're worried about is
of things because of cleaning,
yeah, the Democrats are going to come to the polls.
but
The president does tend to turn out people on both
I
sides.
cannot stand clumps.
Anywhere. They've got to get their side out, and getting closer to them is a way to do that.
Yeah, and
voters who went for Trump, didn't want Hillary Clinton last time around, guy, and now they need to shore up that group because some of those people, particularly women, have drifted away and they're trying to get them back. In terms of their machine and how well it works, how confident do you think they should be based on what you know?
Well, I know that the RNC has put in a lot of time and resources to really step up their data game. It's much more sophisticated than it was even a few years ago. So Byron's right. They are doing the smart thing.
But I come through and I
He is in many places. He's also not in many places. So there will be definitely Senate races where the Republicans
I comb them out so that way I don't have clumps and it separates.
Maybe a tweet would be fine, but why don't you go elsewhere? And this is politics 101.
And for whatever reason,
People that he was campaigning for, at least endorsing in this race in 2018, and there were a number of notable absences or omissions from the list, probably from Democrats who would not have benefited from that stamp of approval from Barack Obama.
You know, it's interesting. Brad Parscale, looks at the whole Russia thing and says it's ridiculous based on the amount of what they
took
got
off
in terms of their social media presence. He says, we were so much bigger and so much better at
from a couple of lashes, and I don't know why, because that never happens.
That they had any influence is ridiculous in his mind. And he thinks that Democrats are a little bit intimidated by their get out the vote game. What do you say?
I think that's an interesting tactic to put out there and try to scare people, but I don't think that's actually the reality. I mean, as these guys have already pointed out, there's a big difference between having President Trump come out in a primary situation where 88-90% of his base actually supports him. It's a completely different thing when it comes time to the general. Then you have to own that. And as Byron said, his approval rating is right around 42%. His disapproval rating is just below 53%. So it's a big thing to overcome. I frankly think he could do a lot more good for his party. Not that I'm here to give him advice, but he often gets in the way of Republican candidates and himself.
And I'm also one.
Opportunities to really amplify.
I like to get every single lash possible.
He has had some good news, but instead he tweets about Russia, and so then that's what people are talking about.
He's been told that a lot, but I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. The Boston Globe.
And I'm excited for my BoxyCharm
Editorial attack on the president is what they're
because
I'm
getting the lashes.
I think the
I'm excited to try them.
Enemy of the people to describe the press is a bad thing to do because of its Soviet origins. I just don't like it.
He seems to be the only person who thinks it's a good idea.
He loves it, but I don't think you do it. On the other hand, the fact that so many in the press are biased against him, that there's so much coverage that is biased, that you might think that instead of this collective action against the president, they might look inside.
And I don't like using those fiber mascaras.
Do we spend more time with Michael Avenatti than some other important?
They're messy, and they just get in your eyeballs
So, are there things that we could do
instead of staying on your lashes.
business because of this unique presidency, and is that a good thing? So, I think maybe more introspection would be a better idea.
I think that might be wishful thinking. But we will see, guys.
I don't know about that. I think, the media made this president. So as much as he wants to, moan and complain about the media, the reality is the media made this president. And look, what's worse?
I don't know about that.
He absolutely is. Summarizes it in a very smart way.
So
Absolutely.
are they just playing right into his hands? This kind of
So what's worse? Organizing a day where you recognize the importance of a free press that's protected by the
How is the
Constitution.
press not worried? That's what I don't
For a
understand at all.
weekend of protest promoting white
Name
supremacy.
any press institution that is weaker now than it was when the president came into office.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Any press institution that's weaker now during the Trump presidency.
No, that's right.
They're stronger by most. So the idea that this has weakened them and that is really, I think, difficult to argue.
Well, okay, so in terms of public perception, I think it obviously has weakened him because he's got the biggest microphone in the country and arguably in the world. So, and we've seen approval ratings of media outlets actually dropping. So that does.
And the mascara I'm using,
And watching them more than ever. Guys, quick thought before we wrap.
I think that's the right way for you to be able to see it, is Unique's Epic Mascara.
That's how he's going to call it. He's going to be like, hey, vindication. This is what I tell you that they're doing. They're ganging up against me, and people are going to just dig their heels in deeper on both sides.
All right, Byron's rooting for an introspective press moment.
Yeah, good luck.
We'll see if that happens. Gentlemen, thank you.
And I do the same process on my upper lashes.
Fox News confirms tonight that Iran has test-fired a ballistic missile and mobilized ships in the Strait of Hormuz. General Keane next.
We will be working with our allies to find a real, comprehensive, and lasting solution to the Iranian nuclear threat. This will include efforts to eliminate the threat of Iran's ballistic missile program.
Liberty Mutual accident forgiveness means they won't hike your rates over one mistake.
I know.
See?
This is taking forever and I apologize.
Drivers with accident forgiveness. Liberty
But
Mutual won't raise their rates because of their first accident.
I am very particular,
Experience the versatility
and that's
of
what's making it hard to do this all
range of SUVs perfect
in one video because this one's already really long. Okay,
experience amazing.
so now that I've done that,
Only own apes in over 5,000 days. That's twice as many helpful hardware locations as any of the warehouses.
do not know how drying this is going to be, so
Is a part of your community. 5,000's a lot, but it's nowhere close to the number of ways we can help you.
Join us for the 5,000 store celebration sale. Don't miss the daily deals and incredible savings on hundreds of items throughout the store, Friday through Monday.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks. You wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else.
and this is just a lip balm,
Most bills don't finish the job.
and I think I got this.
Flonase Sensimus is different. It relieves all your
Not sure which one I got it in.
nasal congestion, which most pills It's more complete allergy relief.
It won't focus.
Gentle mist to your
There we go.
feel. Flonase Sensimus is key inflammatory substances. Most pills only block one.
But putting a lip balm on when you're going to use anything that could be remotely drying on your lips really helps keep that from happening. And the same thing with your foundation. If it's really drying, moisturize before, put a drop of argan oil, and it doesn't change the consistency at all. This is the one that I use. It's the Josie Mary. It's pure argan oil. Guys, now, trick to lip liner is to do small strokes.
There are multiples on the table. One is cash, we are FHA, one is VA. So what can you do?
She's saying a whole lot of people want to buy this house.
Rocky Mortgage by Quicken Loans is the complex study. Share the details and get approved in as few as 8 minutes by America's largest mortgage lender.
With Spectrum, you can make the most of your services by creating a username. It's easy. Just go to spectrum.net and follow the steps. Now you can enjoy more, including the ability to watch TV everywhere, access to a nationwide network of Wi-Fi hotspots, and easy options to manage your account and equipment in just a click or a swipe. Don't wait. Take advantage of all that Spectrum offers and create your username today.
Standing up for what's right, helping out when things go wrong, seeking the truth, and speaking our minds, not just making records, but breaking them, leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway.
But it's easier to connect smaller lines. And that's the reason.
But making a difference, now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
So it is August and it's plenty hot up here on the roof, and President Trump is at his summer home in New Jersey, but he's hardly kicking back. Tonight he is upping the ante against Turkey and Russia and Iran, a triumvirate that is bonding over mutual and despised U.S. sanctions against
Okay.
all of them.
Now, another thing that I do
Double, steal,
is I kind of draw little lines.
issue what he called the most
Just a car door, guys. I promise. Won't hurt you.
a ballistic missile or short-range ship missile for the first time this year. Meanwhile, President Trump imposed sanctions against Russia over the chemical weapons attack in London on a spy and his daughter. Those new sanctions met with fury from Prime Minister Medvedev, who issued this threat today.
If something like a ban on bank operations or currency use follows, it will amount to a declaration of economic war, and it will warrant their response with economic means, political means, and if necessary, other means. Our American friends should understand that.
And as you can see, it's just light lines. Now, the whole reason I wanted to do this.
Yeah, good to see you. Welcome to Washington.
Thank you. Great to be here. Let's kind of go around.
Got this at Sephora. It was on sale, and it's
and the mobilization and exercises that they say they moved up to the summer time frame because of these sanctions. They usually do it in the fall.
Well, clearly Iran is trying to
Is it
send
on the
a
lid?
message to the Trump team here based on the sanctions.
It's not telling me the shade,
They fired a
or at least not the.
ballistic rocket. Trump came out with sanctions and said behavior again.
Guys,
Worse coming from the United States. We're not going to put up with this. And they haven't done
it's
anything
6123B.
right now because they're pretty much under our boot when it comes to the
I don't know
sanctions.
if this will
They're
focus.
significant in terms of taking them out of the dollar financial market. Implication, it may spread to the international market as well. And then shutting down gold, precious metals, aluminum, steel,
Oh, well.
graphite, coal.
Because there's nothing on this end, it's just a color.
Coming November is when we go after oil and the energy sector, and that is going to be very imposing on the Iranians. Their economy is already in the tank. It is struggling severely. And the real is their currency. It is almost close to being valueless. And black market is the way of doing business in Iran. So the pressure is on them. And come November, it'll be on them like it's never been before.
So if they're backed into a corner and you look at the Strait of Hormuz, is that an option for them to block that?
If they block the Strait of Hormuz, we will take out literally all their military on the Strait of Hormuz. That's an act of war if they pull a stunt like that. And they know what the results of that will be. And that will push the United States into conflict. Iran does not want conflict with the United States. Remember, 38 years of conflict, all using proxies, avoiding direct confrontation with their own military. That is one thing. Despite the fact that they harass our ships, they'll fire a missile here and there, they do not want that kind of conflict.
All right, what about Turkey? Obviously, it roiled the markets today. Their economy is under tremendous pressure, and Erdogan lashing out, making phone calls to Putin. We know that Secretary Pompeo also spoke to his counterpart in Russia today. A lot of tensions there.
Yeah, Turkey's facing a political and a financial crisis. The political crisis really goes back to the coup of 2016, when Erdogan nearly was toppled, and not a single NATO nation, to include the United States, provided any moral support. Nobody spoke in his favor because he's moving that regime to an authoritarian regime, moving away from democracy. And as a result of that, he came out and he said, I want the leader who was the catalyst for this coup, who resides in the United States, a guy by the name of Fethullah Gulen, to be removed. He lives in Pennsylvania. We said no. He arrested a U.S. citizen who resides in Turkey, and that's now the famous Pastor Bronson. Tragic that he is in prison. He's now on the house arrest. And this dispute has really boiled over, and that is why the tariffs on aluminum steel are being issued by the Trump administration. At a time when Turkey is in a financial crisis with the lira, their currency, being significantly devalued against the dollar, and inflation is spiraling up out of control.
So they could significantly diffuse this situation if they sent Pastor Brunson back.
Yeah. This
Do you think they will?
political dispute eases dramatically.
Okay.
These sanctions that they're imposing on Turkey are going to hurt them.
Oh, that's the lid.
At a time when they're in financial
I have a
crisis
mess.
and they've got banks
Big,
that are
big
affected
mess.
in Turkey that they've been
Now,
lending money to Turkey for years.
the
They've
trick
tied
to
up
keeping
things. So it's gonna
from
be
getting
in
red
your
lipstick
there'll be a little bit
all
of-
over your teeth.
not a massive one,
Stick
but
your finger
in Greece. So it's got implications, more pressure here on
and pull.
everyone. The most of the pressure, I think,
Okay,
is from the speakers
that will
of the
keep-
United, because they're every single day it's getting worse.
Absolutely, and
Just making sure.
and
Be kind of embarrassing if I already had,
not inciting, but sort of creating an environment.
and this will kind of sting.
Puts the pressure
However,
in some regard on the people of Turkey and the people of Iran. But what about the connection between Turkey
I always
and
keep
and,
a little micellar water.
alliance there that's could potentially be dangerous for us?
Yeah, we're frustrated with them this is over Syria. And the reality is that the Turks' argument with us is we're supporting the Syrian Kurds, who was the main ground force guided by Special Operations Force of the United States to defeat ISIS.
Because what that does is it kind of breaks down the oils
Kurds as terrorists in their mind. They're tied to they are connected to a terrorist organization that's trying to topple
that are in it.
Carve out Kurdistan inside of Turkey.
Not perfect. Well, that side is kind of hard,
The
you know.
reality is also, we resent, as you just mentioned, the relationship that Turkey has with Russia and also with Iran that are actually operating against our interests
Better.
in Syria. So that frustration is
Better.
actually,
And
ISIS would never have moved from 600
that's pretty much it.
Iraqi fighters to 14,000
And I'll bring you in close so that you can get a good look.
Erdogan didn't have his border open, even though we were saying shut it down, even though he said I've got to shut down. He let it happen because he strategically made a serious mistake. He thought
So that's how that is. I appreciate you sticking around this long. I will link my giveaway video underneath this or in the description. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, punch that thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment. Tell me what you would like to see. Give me tips on how to cut all this down. Whatever. But thank you so much, my beauties. Goodbye. Hi, my beauties. I went ahead and I did a film on doing my face, in which most of what I didn't complete in the eye video is in that one. So, and it is kind of rather long, and I apologize. But I'm going to bring you close so you can get a good look. Okay, and that's the eyes. And then the whole purpose was because I got this lipstick for $5 at Sephora, and I really wanted a real red. And let me tell you, this really doesn't budge. See, and we'll do the kiss test and see just how much it does budge, because I had tried it out like a swatch on my hand and kept wiping at it, and it budged a little bit, but not, I mean, it was there. So
I never knew when my symptoms would keep us apart.
barely.
So I talked to my doctor about
And that's probably because I didn't blot.
and keep UC under control.
That's going to take my slow water.
Works well enough.
So
People achieve control that lasts.
thank you. If you like everything that you see, just hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, punch that thumbs up, and maybe leave me a comment. Tell me what you want to see. If you like this look, if you have any tips on how to get my videos a little shorter, I will take that. I will take any tips. I got a few wonderful ones that I'm going to try for the dark spots and the under the eye. It's a mixture of like baking soda and apple cider vinegar. I'm going to try that. Thanks, Rita. But with that, I'm going to link my giveaway video in the description. We're getting close. Tell your friends. I'm kind of stalled at the moment at 176. So we only need like 4 more people and I can do the giveaway. So tell your friends to subscribe. I promise I'm going to get better at this. Thank you. Goodbye, my beauties.